If you say these 6 things to a younger woman, she'll be drawn to you immediately. If you're tired of being ignored or unsure of what to say to truly connect with a younger woman, get ready. In this video, I'll reveal 6 things younger women love to hear from more experienced men. Use these phrases and watch how they become intrigued and emotionally connected with you. Curious to know what these powerful phrases are and the psychology behind them? But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future insights. Let's begin. Number 1. You're more mature than most women I know. You're more mature than most women I know. This phrase may seem simple on the surface, but its impact runs deep, especially when used with a younger woman who's attracted to older, more experienced men. It's more than just a compliment. It's a psychological key that unlocks her self-worth, emotional identity, and desire to feel exceptional. Why this phrase works so powerfully? At the core of this phrase is a subtle but potent psychological message. You're different. You're not like the others. And in a world where younger women are often generalized, underestimated, or treated as shallow based on age or appearance, this compliment becomes a breath of fresh air. Younger women often face 2 conflicting realities. On one hand, they're admired for their beauty and energy, but on the other, they're not always taken seriously. They're seen as inexperienced, naive, or emotionally immature, especially by older men. This phrase directly counters that stereotype and places her in a special category: the rare young woman who is mentally, emotionally, and intellectually ahead of her peers. By telling her she's more mature than most women you've met, you're indirectly saying she possesses emotional intelligence, wisdom, and depth. These are qualities women long to be recognized for, but are rarely complimented on, especially by younger men who often focus on superficial traits. That's where you stand out, and your compliment does more than just boost her ego. It positions you as someone who notices what others overlook. Psychological triggers at play. Ego boost. It validates her desire to be seen as special. Most people, not just women, crave distinction. They want to be the one, not one of many. This phrase gives her that emotional trophy. Validation of self-perception. If she already sees herself as someone wise beyond her years or more serious than her peers, you've just confirmed that perception. That builds immediate rapport and trust. Implied standards. You're subtly suggesting that you've known many women, but she stands out. This triggers a form of social proof. You have options, and yet you're drawn to her uniqueness. That makes her feel chosen. Respect and connection. It shifts the conversation from surface level to soul level. It's no longer about appearance. It's about character. That's powerful, especially when coming from a man who's clearly confident and grounded. How to deliver it, tone and timing are everything. Say this during a quiet, genuine moment, perhaps after a thoughtful conversation, or when she surprises you with her perspective. Keep your tone warm and sincere. You're not trying to flatter her. You're simply stating an observation with genuine admiration. Follow up with something specific to show you're not just using a line. For example, you see things so clearly, it's like you've lived twice as long. That's rare. That added detail makes your words unforgettable. She won't just hear the compliment, she'll feel it. And that feeling lingers, building emotional attraction and setting the stage for deeper connection. Number 2, you have an energy that inspires something amazing in me. You have an energy that inspires something amazing in me. This isn't just a line, it's a subtle emotional weapon. Delivered correctly, This phrase bypasses surface-level attraction and goes straight into the psychological depths of connection and validation. It tells her she's not just attractive, she's transformative. That's a whole different level of impact. The deeper meaning behind the words. On the surface, you're complimenting her energy, but what you're really doing is creating a bond that feels spiritual, almost cosmic. You're suggesting that her mere presence awakens something powerful and beautiful within you. You're not just saying you're beautiful, you're saying you make me better. That is magnetic. This taps into a deep desire in many women, especially those who are emotionally in tune or intuitive. They don't just want to be desired, they want to inspire. They want to leave a mark on the people they care about, especially on men they admire. When you say this to her, you're telling her she has that exact effect, an almost magical influence. Psychological triggers. Embedded in this phrase. Emotional significance. You're telling her she matters, not just in your life, but in who you are becoming. Most people crave this kind of significance, and when they feel they bring something positive into someone else's life, it deepens their emotional attachment. Subtle flattery without objectification. You're not commenting on her looks. You're complimenting her essence, her vibe, her presence, her soul. This kind of recognition is rare, which makes it unforgettable. Elevated connection. This phrase positions your connection as something greater than average. You're not bonding over shallow interests. You're recognizing a deeper alignment, one that inspires and uplifts. That creates emotional gravity. Emotional reciprocity. When someone feels they've inspired something beautiful in you, they subconsciously want to protect and nurture that feeling. She may begin to wonder, what is it about me that brings that out in him? Which keeps you on her mind long after you say it. When and how to use it. Timing is key. Drop this line when she's being her most authentic self. Maybe during a deep conversation, or when she shares her dreams, fears, or passions. Or maybe she just did something spontaneous and real, something that moved you. Make eye contact. Say it slow. Let your voice carry weight. You're not delivering a pickup line. You're revealing a truth. You could even personalize it. I don't know what it is about your energy, but it pulls something amazing out of me. I think better. I feel clearer. It's rare. That kind of honesty strikes like lightning. It makes her feel like a muse. Unique, powerful, and unforgettable. Number 3, I like how authentic you are. That's rare these days. I like how authentic you are. That's rare these days. This phrase, while seemingly simple, carries immense psychological weight. In an age of filters, performative behavior, and curated personas, authenticity is like oxygen, rare, refreshing, and unforgettable. When you say this, you're not just complimenting her, you're validating her essence, and that creates a deep emotional ripple. The psychological depth. At its core, this phrase taps into identity validation. It tells her that being herself, not the polished, performative version the world often expects, is not only enough, it's attractive. That's powerful. Because the truth is, many people, especially women, often feel the pressure to conform, to please, or to play roles to be accepted. When you recognize her authenticity, you're essentially saying, you don't have to pretend with me. You, as you are valuable. That breaks walls. That invites trust. The triggers your activating rarity bias. The line ends with, "That's rare these days." This turns a simple compliment into a high-status recognition. You're framing her authenticity as not just good, but exceptional. People value what is rare. You're telling her she possesses something scarce, and that elevates her self-worth in your presence. Identity alignment. Most people want to be seen as real, as grounded, as true to themselves. When you label her that way, you're aligning with her ideal self-image, what psychologists call the ideal ego. It builds connection because you're reinforcing who she wants to believe she is. Trust and depth. Compliments on looks are nice, but comments on character? That's intimacy. It says you're paying attention, not just to the outer shell, but to who she is underneath. This creates emotional safety, key for attraction that goes beyond the surface. Subtle challenge to others. By saying, "That's rare these days," you're also implying that most people are fake. Without saying it directly, you're separating her from the crowd. You're putting her on a different level, which makes her feel seen and special. When and how to use it. Drop this line during a moment when she's being real, when she's speaking her mind, sharing something vulnerable, or acting in a way that feels raw and unfiltered. It could even be during a casual moment, like her laughing at something ridiculous or giving a thoughtful opinion others might shy away from. Tone matters. Say it with calm sincerity, not as a slick line. Try, "You know what I like about you? You're real." That kind of authenticity, it's rare these days. Let it linger. Don't over-explain. Let her feel the truth of it. Why it works, this line hits the core of emotional attraction. You're not chasing. You're not praising her to gain approval. You're acknowledging a trait that is inherently powerful, and doing so from a grounded, self-assured place. That's the kind of thing that sticks. Number 4. You have a sparkle in your eyes that's truly contagious. You have a sparkle in your eyes that's truly contagious. At first glance, this line might seem poetic or even cliché, but underneath its charm lies a potent psychological impact that strikes directly at the emotional core. This isn't just a compliment. It's a mirror, a reflection of how someone's presence affects you on a deep, emotional level. And that can be incredibly powerful. The deeper meaning. When you say someone has a sparkle in their eyes, you're acknowledging something that words can't easily define. You're recognizing aliveness, enthusiasm, warmth, a magnetic kind of energy that radiates from within and subtly lights up a room. Most people aren't complimented in this way. They're told they look good, sound smart, or have great style. But this is spiritual. It says, "Your presence affects me. You bring light. You bring joy." Now add the phrase, "That's truly contagious." That turns the compliment into something interactive. It's not just about how she looks, but how she makes others feel. You're telling her that she doesn't just have inner beauty, she spreads it. Psychological triggers at play, contagious positivity. The idea that her inner light spreads makes her feel powerful in a subtle, feminine way. She's not just attractive, she's impactful. And that's rare. Most compliments don't make people feel like they change the emotional atmosphere. This one does. Visual anchoring. Complimenting the eyes is smart. Why? Because eyes are windows to the soul. When someone hears their eyes have a sparkle, they internalize that message every time they look in the mirror. That's an anchor. You've planted a positive association with her reflection. Emotionally intelligent praise. This isn't about her outfit or figure. It's about the subtle energy she brings. That places you as someone who sees beyond the surface, someone emotionally perceptive. And being seen in this way, that's what makes a person feel safe, drawn in, and curious about you. The rare compliment effect. Let's be honest, How many times has she heard this exact compliment? Probably not often. Most people stick to "you're pretty" or "you're beautiful." But this cuts through the noise and touches something deeper. It's poetic, yes, but it's also personal and vivid. When and how to use it. Use this in a moment when she's smiling, laughing, telling a story with passion, or when her face lights up with real joy. That's when the sparkle is most visible. Pause, look at her sincerely, and say, "You know, you've got this sparkle in your eyes. It's contagious. I actually feel lighter when I'm around you. It's authentic, gentle, not trying too hard, and most importantly, it's true in that moment." Why it sticks. She'll remember this compliment not just because of what you said, but how it made her feel seen, appreciated, and emotionally significant. And the next time she feels down, she might just look in the mirror and remember the sparkle you saw. Number 5. You remind me how good it feels to enjoy the moment. You remind me how good it feels to enjoy the moment. This isn't just a compliment. It's a deep emotional acknowledgement, quietly powerful and rooted in mindfulness, presence, and human connection. When you say this to someone, you're not merely admiring their behavior, you're showing them that they awaken something in you. And that hits differently. The hidden depth behind the words. At the surface, this line may seem simple, but psychologically, it's layered. You remind me. This is personal. It's not about her in isolation. It's about the effect she has on you. This creates emotional intimacy. How good it feels. Not just a mental note, but a feeling. It activates positive emotion in both of you. To enjoy the moment. Now we're talking presence, peace, escape from the chaos of everyday life. That's powerful. What you're really saying is, you pull me out of my head and into the now. Being with you feels real, grounded, easy. That's one of the rarest things you can offer someone. Recognition of the emotional peace they bring. Psychological triggers at work. Validation of presence. Many people don't realize how their energy affects others. When you tell her that she helps you enjoy the moment, you're validating her presence in a way that's incredibly grounding. You're saying, just by being you, you improve my experience of life. Anchoring joy. Associating her presence with peace and joy creates an emotional anchor. Every time she's with you afterward, she'll subconsciously feel that pull toward calm and happiness, because you've linked her to that emotion. Deep connection cue. Most compliments are surface level, about looks, style, humor. But this line shows you're paying attention to how she makes you feel. That's emotional intelligence. And that makes you feel safer and more trustworthy. The rare compliment effect. She's probably been called beautiful or fun before. But being told she helps you enjoy life? That's uncommon. That's deep. And that's the kind of compliment that stays with someone. When to say it. Say this during a lighthearted, peaceful moment. Walking together, laughing over something simple, watching a sunset. Let your tone slow down. Look at her and say, "You know, you really remind me how good it feels to just enjoy the moment. I forget that sometimes." It lands because it's real. It's vulnerable without being heavy. It invites her into your emotional world without pressure. Why it works. Because we live in a world full of distraction, stress, and mental noise. Most people forget what it means to be fully present. If someone brings you back to that state, you remember them forever. By saying this, you're doing more than giving a compliment. You're sharing a truth. And when truth and emotion meet, connection becomes unforgettable. Number 6. Just being near you sparks my imagination. Just being near you sparks my imagination. This statement is not only a compliment, it's a powerful way to convey intrigue, attraction, and emotional intensity. It's an intimate acknowledgement that goes beyond physical attraction. It taps into the deep, subconscious way we connect with people who inspire us. It suggests that the person's presence doesn't just affect your thoughts, but awakens something creative, perhaps even transformative within you. The hidden depth behind the words. Breaking down the phrase reveals a series of psychological layers. Just being near you. This sets the tone for emotional proximity. It's not just about being in the same room, but an acknowledgement that their presence alone has an effect on you. Sparks. The word spark is crucial here. It's a tiny, sudden burst of energy that evokes something much larger. A fire of thoughts, dreams, and emotions. It suggests that her presence ignites something within you. My imagination. This is the core of the statement. Imagination is tied to desire, creativity, and inspiration. By associating her presence with a creative force, you are subtly complementing her mental and emotional influence on you. What you're really saying is, when I'm around you, it's not just my physical senses that are activated. My mind starts working in ways it doesn't when I'm with anyone else. You inspire me. You challenge my usual patterns of thinking. Psychological triggers at play. Highlighting emotional and intellectual connection. Saying that her presence sparks your imagination indicates that she's not just a physical attraction. She's someone who challenges or excites your mental and emotional boundaries. This goes beyond superficiality and suggests a connection that could lead to something deeper and more meaningful. Creating emotional impact. The phrase sparks implies intensity. Imagination is linked to feelings of curiosity, wonder, and even mystery. By saying that someone sparks your imagination, you're implying that being with them stimulates a part of you that is normally dormant, igniting creative and emotional energy in a way that you don't experience with others. Subtle suggestion of desire. Imagination isn't just about abstract thought. It's also tied to desire. When you tell someone they spark your imagination, you're hinting at a deep level of attraction and emotional interest. This suggests that being around them not only excites you mentally, but also creates an emotional connection that makes you want to explore more. The compliment of being unique. Most people receive compliments based on their appearance, humor, or intelligence. But being told that your mere presence causes someone's imagination to run wild is different. It's unique. It suggests that there is something about them that stands out from everyone else. This makes them feel special and appreciated for qualities beyond the surface level. When to use it. This line works best in moments of connection where there's already a sense of chemistry and emotional energy. For instance, if you're having a deep, intimate conversation or you're sharing a laugh, look at her, pause, and then say, "I have to admit, just being near you sparks my imagination. It's like my mind can't help but run wild when I'm around you." Deliver this statement with a calm yet expressive tone and use eye contact to deepen the emotional weight of your words. The pause after saying it allows her to absorb the full impact of the compliment. Why it works. This statement works because it combines emotional depth, intellectual stimulation, and desire in a subtle but powerful way. It's an uncommon compliment that goes beyond what someone might expect or hear often. It shows that her presence impacts you on a creative level, making her feel special, admired, and desired in a thoughtful and sincere way. Final thought. The phrase, "just being near you sparks my imagination," is a subtle yet profound compliment that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. It speaks to a deeper emotional and intellectual connection, showing that the person's presence inspires creativity, thought, and emotional intensity within you. It captures the essence of someone's influence on your mental state, making them feel unique, valued, and deeply admired for who they are, not just for how they look. By using such a phrase, you don't merely acknowledge physical attraction. You highlight the power of their presence in shaping your thoughts and feelings. It's a compliment that creates a sense of mystery, desire, and emotional intrigue, drawing them closer to you in a way that feels both genuine and profound. This type of compliment works because it touches on something that many people long for: being seen and valued for more than just their appearance. It makes her feel special in a way that few others can. By recognizing how someone's presence ignites your creativity and emotion, you're not only complimenting her, you're showing her the depth of your connection, which is far more powerful than mere flattery.